This video is going to be about my story solo backpacking Penang. So a lot of my girlfriends have been to Malaysia and they've been to Penang and they really like it, and they all recommend me go to Penang, and they said Georgetown is super beautiful, the art is very nice, the food is very good. So I was excited and ready to go. When I arrived at the airport, I took a bus to TBS, and then from TBS, which is the main bus terminal in KL, I took a bus straight to Penang after. The owner at my hostel told me to go to Laksa Temple as it's very nice. So I'm currently at the bottom of Laksa Temple, and I'm supposed to find laksa here, and I thought there'd be like one stall, but it's all food everywhere. And there's like one specific really good laksa place, and I don't know how I'm gonna find it here. When I was at the bottom of Laksa Temple, I actually found this laksa stand. There were many, and I heard there was one really famous good one. So I set up my tripod to kind of get some footage of me eating this laksa. There's so many different laksa stands, so I really hope I got the really famous one. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it will taste good either way. So this is a small size for 4.5 ringgit. I was sharing a table with this elderly lady, this grandma. She kept talking to me while I kept eating, but she was speaking to me in Chinese the whole time, and I was like, I don't speak Chinese, I'm so sorry. She obviously doesn't speak English or Vietnamese, so it was mostly me just like nodding and smiling to her. So one day I spent taking the bus there. For me, I've been traveling in Asia for a while, so I've been to many temples. It is a very nice temple, but I personally don't think it's very special in any way. After visiting that temple, I went to Penang Hill. The wait was very long because actually during December is when the students are off of school, so you see a lot of families and a lot of kids everywhere. It costs 30 ringgit to go up to Penang Hill if you're a foreigner. If you are a Malaysian citizen, it is 10 ringgit. No, the food and the payment system in Malaysia is actually quite interesting. So when you go to like a street stall or a restaurant, you go in, you order, and then when they bring the food to you and place it down, then you pay them. Whereas in Canada, we just go, we order, we eat, and then we pay after. So one night I actually got to try this street food called rojak, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, which is essentially just different kinds of fruit and then squid, and then this savory sweet brown sauce. I can't really explain it. It looks not appetizing, but it's actually really good, and somehow the squid goes well with the fresh fruit. I highly recommend everyone try it. It's just such a unique thing. I've never had anything like it before. And I also tried ice cream in a bun. So I've seen a video of someone trying this in Vietnam, but I've never seen it in Vietnam. But yeah, I got to try it in Malaysia. It tastes exactly like what it sounds like. I also walked around Little India. What I like about Malaysia is somehow they do multiculturalism right. I'm from Canada, where we advertise multiculturalism, we push it, but we still have so many problems with it, and a lot of people still fight about what it means to be Canadian. But for some reason in Malaysia, you have these three main races that exist peacefully and with different religions at that. So I find it quite interesting, quite amazing. On one of my days, I walked around Chu Jetty, which is this area near the waterfront in Penang. It's very cool. It's kind of like a mini like Jiufen in Taiwan. So it's like, it reminds me a little bit of like Spirited Away. There's wood laid on above the water, and there's these little shops everywhere. It's very nice, it's very charming. I recommend it. So I'm sitting at a corner in Penang. Don't know what corner, but I know the waterfront is that way. And I stopped by this mango lassi ice cream turned lassi joint, and I got a mango lassi. So, I mean, mangoes in Southeast Asia are the best. So good. So once a year, Penang has this event called Pesta Penang. And they only have it in December, so they have it for the whole month of December. And it's basically this carnival amusement park thing. So the entrance fee is very cheap, But when you go in, if you want to go on rides or anything, you pay per ride. So they don't force you to pay an overall entrance fee. And they're little shops. They sell a lot of food, little toys. They sell clothing. There's a haunted house. There are rides. There are games. There's a lot of little kids. It's great for families. So I was actually very lucky that I was in Penang at the one time that they have this event, like once a year.
Okay, so I am at a food court that is 8 minutes from my hostel. There's a guy over there. So this is it. It is currently Monday, so it's quite packed for a Monday. I got this dish here. It's like salted fish with an egg. Oh, it looks really spicy, but it's actually not that spicy. So, yeah.
I'm currently at a franchise called Capitan in Penang, and it is so fire. It is a Muslim Indian restaurant, and the food is just like so good. It's so good. So I got the chicken Malani set with garlic naan, and their mango lassi is out of control good. So if anyone goes to Penang, I highly recommend Capitan.
So during my time in Penang, I also got to go to this famous chendol place on Penang Road. Just a couple stalls down, there is this deep fried jackfruit place, which is amazing, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's probably the best thing I've eaten in Malaysia. Something happens to the texture of jackfruit once they deep fry it, and it's this gooey, delicious thing. If you go to Penang, you have to try this. So over here we have deep fried jackfruit, which I've never had before. Oh, it's super hot. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. It's so good! This is the best.
Is it good?
This one's the best. It's so good! It's so good! Oh! This needs to be a thing everywhere. This is so good. I also went back to the food court where I got nasi lemak last time, and I tried this beef noodle soup. So I'm Vietnamese, and to me beef noodle soup means pho. So I wanted to see Malaysia's take on beef noodle soup. It actually looks similar to pho, but I think pho broth is a lot richer and deeper, but this one was still good. I also had ginger tea one night at the street stall stand. So the ginger tea here is very strong. It's very rich and deep in flavor, so a lot of people add sweetened condensed milk to it to lighten it up, but I like to drink all my teas and coffees black. One night I got to try this local Chinese place that had pan mi, which is a dry egg noodle dish with minced pork. So we are eating pan mi. I've never had this before. It's a Chinese noodle dish, and this is with pork. Ooh, it's like ramen noodles. It's really good. I stayed at Tito Hostel while I was in Penang, and in that area I was right next to the best wonton mee noodle place, and I ate there twice, and I highly recommend that place if you like wonton mee. The broth is incredible. I can't even explain the broth. It's so good. The wonton noodles, the wonton dumplings were very good. If you're into Chinese food or like even Cantonese food, I highly recommend this dish. Staying at Tito Hostel, I was also very close to this roti canai place, which is very hectic, and they close around lunchtime, so you have to go during breakfast. I also got the chance to visit a beach, and there was a small little temple by the beach. And then I went to see the dam, and I got some photos there. And then lastly, on that day, I visited a ravine. So it's like a river stream. And I think if you go further in, there's like a waterfall. A lot of families come here. Kids play in the water. Families, they have barbecues. And it's actually a very quaint, nice place. But it was very busy that day I went. A very good family environment place if you want to check it out. I also got the chance to eat some CKT near the ravine area, and it was very good. That place was a little bit less oily. Yeah, CKT is this fried noodle that is a Malaysian staple. So if you think Malaysian food, one of the first foods you're gonna think is CKT.
It's so good.
So this is the end of my female solo backpacker Penang video, part 1. I'm gonna release part 2 later on, and thank you for watching.